Um, because again, you look at again about did they fail us? Did they not do us right? Right.
Right.
We talk about like stuff like in a single parent home. At what point in a two parent home, like oh no no, if the two parent home isn't necessarily working to your benefit, right? As the parent, do you stay with the other parent to help out the kid? If that makes if my question's asked the right way, if you get what I'm saying,
Yeah, I understand.
you know what I mean? Like how do y'all
I
feel about it?
mean
Because again,
that
we
was
go,
that was the standard back in the day.
you get me?
Like that was definitely the standard back in the day. Now it's just motherfuckers ain't gonna stay in what they ain't appreciated it. Like it's too many. Well, we already know. Like it was back then. It was the same way. It's too many people in the world now. You can talk to you can have a girlfriend at the snap of your fingers for real, or be talking to somebody the next day, or if that's what you want. But that's just what they knew back then, so they just stuck it out, and then that's why you got a lot of unhappy households, or people don't know how to express their feelings because they done seen their parents stuck in a situation where they were unhappy, but they faked it for everybody else, and they only know it, and now this person only know how to put on the show. So that's I me personally now I wouldn't stay. Like if you unhappy, you just unhappy. We go out. You go your way, I go my way, and then we just do for our child and let it be that. But if I was in the same situation as my pop and him, I probably would have stuck around.
To answer the question, no. Um, Again, it starts with, like I said, if you're going to be your child's first role model, what are you now teaching them? Like Reese said, like he was alluding to, you're basically teaching your child to either put their happiness on the back burner, sacrifice for the overall good. Is that really healthy?
Right.
To put on that fake front when you know that this relationship is no longer serving you a purpose. We have to understand, like you've said throughout this pod, Savage, kids are inquisitive. So kids are always watching. So I'm watching daddy be frustrated all the time. I'm watching when daddy leave, mommy go in the room and she cry. I'm watching this stuff as a kid. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to understand, like, well, why do my parents, they tell me that they love each other, but my dad's never happy. My mom's always crying, or their voices always get loud at night when it's time for me to go to bed. Like why are they like why is that? So now, as Reese alluded to, they grow up and they think that that's okay. I watched it in my own home. Uh, my mom and my dad went at it countless times. And my mother stayed because she wanted to give me what she never gave my brothers and sisters, which was a two-parent home.
Right.
Um, and towards like the end of their marriage, right before my dad died, they kind of rekindled. They really got to really rediscover themselves,
Mm-hmm.
and that passion that they have for each other. Because I'm saying there were a lot of toxic times between my mom and my dad, and to be honest, I took that into my relationships. We got to stick it out no matter what. I watched my mom stick it out with my dad. I watched my dad stick it out with my mom. We got to stick it out. I tried that with my oldest daughter's mom. Man, we were all in vinegar. Uh, so we were salt and slug, however you want to look. We were every bit of toxicity. We were young, dumb,
Yeah.
full of cum, and didn't know what real love was. And we were trying to make it. She felt like having a baby would keep me, and that made me go the other way. I always wanted to be a dad because I had a dad, so I was never gonna not be a dad. Um, but that created chaos, which I think my daughter, I'm saying, picked up on things like that. Then you go from now, I'm saying now I'm in a new marriage. It's healthy. and now I have 2 kids. I'm saying, and I never want my children to have to feel like their happiness doesn't matter just because they're in a relationship. That's not an example I want to set for them.
Right.
Will there be difficult times in a relationship? Without question. Will we not see eye to eye on certain parenting skills? Without question. But the day that it's no longer, that relationship no longer serves me a purpose, that does not affect how I am as a father, nor should it affect her as how she is a mother. So because you can be absent while being present. And like I said, being your child's first role model, that's not something you want to teach them. Like I said, yes, fighting through tough times is a lot different than just putting up with shit to just say we putting up with it. You see what I'm saying? So we have to be mindful of that. No, we can't teach our kids anytime something get rough, we just get up and leave. But there has to be a certain cutoff for the fuckery. Like when you know that if you waking up every day and if you hate her, she hates you, and we trying to just make it work for the sake of the kid, like you know the real between rough patches and this is no longer serving us, and that we can't, that we have to teach our children. Like we just can't stay in a home just for the sake of it. Like we can never teach kids that.
Yeah, I agree with y'all. Y'all hear me? Everything good? Y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I make sure I hear me. I agree. Nobody should stick around just for the kids. My dad was a prime example of that. My dad didn't stick with my mom because he knew that it just wasn't going to work. Two different levels at the time in their life. So yeah, I mean, no, you don't do that just for the kids. That was the question, right? That was the question, right?
Yup.
Yes.
Yeah, all right, cool. I'll make sure I do right. So yeah. I seen my dad say, "Yo, nah, it's not working. I got to move on and do what's best for the kids." Because sticking together sometimes ain't the best for the kids. Some people do say that a lot. Oh, I stuck around for the kids only, and then it's like you said, if you're gonna be miserable, now you're giving them a bad example of it. Of oh, my parents don't stay together, but they was miserable as fuck.
Right.
Right.
Now it's like, oh, when I have a kid with this girl, I gotta stay with her and be miserable as hell. That's not fair to nobody in the situation, the kids or the
Right.
parents. So yeah, nah, you should never do that just for the kids. I know people that have done that personally, and it never worked for them at all. Never. Uh, as they say, it might have the honeymoon period where it's like, we're gonna tough it out for the kids. But as we all know, that person or you gonna go back to your old ways, so it's not gonna work. So just leave it alone.
I agree.
Sure.
I agree with it all. Like again, you definitely don't stay. For the kids. Again, I'm a product of somebody who did stay for the kids. Like my mom definitely stayed with my dad because of us.
Shout out to your mom for that, boy.
You get what I'm saying? Like she definitely did stay because of that, and it's a tremendous effort on her end. Um, because again, it didn't work. It wasn't going to work. It was a toxicity that it was at to a point. It was like it literally the camel. The camel broke his back. The camel done gave up. It done got buried in the sand in the desert, like deep in the desert, under the damn pyramid, like that type bad. You know what I'm saying? Whereas like the chances just blown, they were just burnt out. Um, with that though, I will say it taught me to try. It gave me it gave me the it gave me the tangibles to at least attempt to try to stay. Now, granted, hear me out. When the opportunity presented itself, I was out. You know what I mean? The last opportunity. Let's just say that because the first one showed up, but that was before my kid. But so it's like with that, it's like you know what I mean. You definitely gotta. It's like you gotta don't block your blessings. Like because again, it's not fair to anybody else. You are stopping your growth, your ability to teach your child better ways to handle relationships, to handle how to handle things. Again, you're not saying you gotta give up on every little thing that when shit gets hot, you gotta run from it. Because again, that is the opposite thing that you want to do. You don't want to run from shit. When adversity comes your way, you gotta take on adversity. You know what I mean? But it's just a way about how you handle adversity. Because I mean, again, I know people that again shit gets sticky, they hitting the do signs. You know what I'm saying? And like literally, it's like that's you don't want to teach your kids that. You don't want to teach your kids to be like, because then at that point you look like an opportunist. You look like an opportunist, just taking every opportunity that you can get, riding that good wave, and then when shit gets rocky again, you're leaving. You don't want to. You don't want to raise an opportunist. You want to raise somebody that has respect for their partner. You want to have respect for themselves in a way to speak. You know what I mean? So like I said, I learned the hard way as far as like trying to stick it through. But I think it wasn't necessarily I left for my kid, if that makes sense. I left my situation for my kid. I couldn't keep being in this situation, raising up a boy, to ever have him be susceptible to something like this as a man, if that makes sense.
Makes perfect sense.
And so that's literally why, like, I don't agree with staying for the kid. Because again, they're going to become a man. They're going to become a woman. You want them to go out here and be doing the same shit? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No, for sure.
Hold on. One thing I do want to do, I want to commend my aunt, your mom, because even though my uncle hauled ass, she still kept us as close as she could for as long as she could.
For sure. Like
that's one thing I want to do, because it wasn't for her. Yeah, her and Momo for sure. Me and Matt probably would have strayed away, and we did, because at one point in time I was in high school, he was whatever, but we still knew that. I knew where my cousin was at. I knew what he was doing, because his mom still made an effort, even though she wasn't with my uncle no more, and I still call her my aunt to this day. So that tells you right there the respect level I have for her. So shout out to her for not even trying to split apart the family, because there are some women that will split apart the family. Like don't care, won't care. Like once they leave the man, it's a wrap. I don't care about your dad's side of the family. All you gotta do is worry about my side.
Shit. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Literally, and I've seen that again. It's nah. My mom definitely held it down for us when she could have. The opportunities presented themselves. She definitely like, all right, well look, go ahead and get a break from it. You know what I'm saying? They have other families that they gotta be intact with. We're not going because again, you look at it like from that. Dad kind of, and I hate to kind of like do this, but say Dad kind of was like, all right, well my side of the family's done. You know what I mean? Dad even left his side of the family. So it's like, you look at it, it's just like, well, damn, what about your offspring? And it's like again, but that's like when stuff gets sticky and hot, do you run away from it? You know what I'm saying? Like, you can look at it as far as like a situation just being a dad or just having children to raise, but it's like, it should be that way in general. Like, you shouldn't be running away when shit gets that way. But there are people that do it. And look, we're just going to bless them. We're just going to pray for them. We're just going to pray for them.
It's women and men who do that.
Women and men.
Yes. We're just not going to we're not going to keep throwing the man underneath the bus. Women and men have hard-assed in every situation before in life.
Hard-ass who just stayed stagnant and didn't want to grow from it.
Right. So, yeah, we're not going to just blame the man all the time. Hate that. So I got one more question, and if anybody else want to chime in with questions, we can go ahead and have open joint. But what's one thing that you learned from your childhood that you bring now to your kids in their childhood?
Be present. Be present, and don't just bring anybody around your child. I mean, of course, that anyway, but not just because of the simple fact that they may present certain good qualities about them. You know what I mean? They may give you the sayings, the teachings in which sound good that align up to how you want. It's not always good business. Because again, when push comes to shove, it's like they need to be like, if they know that you're about your kid, they need to know that you're about your kid. They need to be about their. I'm saying if they don't know that about you from the get go and decide to make it about them or decide to just like, you know what I'm saying, want you to focus on them and everything like that, then clearly they're not the one that needs to be around your kid. But that's all through that screening process early. The other thing is being present for your own kid. Again, because like you said, time is of the essence. They are growing every day. They are learning new shit every second of the day. Again, it only takes them to do a Google search to look at certain shit. And the moment you're not there to address it or to help further learn those learnings those things that they're researching or they're looking at, you already missed it. You already messed up. You already messed up. Because again, who you got to be there to pick up your kid. Your kid fall, yeah, you gonna let them learn, but at the same time, they have to know why they fell. They have to know why they chose that, why this happened. And if you're not there to explain that why it happened, then shit, you failed.
Anybody else can go.
It's definitely presence, as we talked about. I think with the first question, I believe. I'll say patience. Definitely patience. Like because like like we said, we know they all everything is new to them. Everything is brand new to them, to a young child's mind. Whether they fully grown, not even fully grown, but if they in their teenage years, about to reach adulthood, whether they a toddler, whether they an infant, whatever stage your child is at, it's gonna you gotta guide them and teach them the ways, like Matt just said, the right way and the wrong way. Well, they gonna learn the wrong way, but you got to teach them the right way as well. You can't just be like with my father. Uh, if you know my father, my father's tone, it always sounds like he yelling no matter what. Like no matter what, he can have a regular conversation with you, but his tone just sound like he's yelling at you. So it has been times where I'm in the house and growing up with my mom, like, why you yelling at me? Tone your voice down. I'm not yelling. It's the way I talk. I'm like, we pop, you yelling like. But it is times where he having a regular conversation, he just loud as hell. But it's definitely the patience because I seen this man go from 0 to 100 for the littlest shit that didn't even deserve that type of effort. And I feel like I didn't caught myself doing that shit to Aubrey. Whereas like I just told you not to do something.
Right.
You understand what's going on. You know it's wrong, but you just gonna go back and do it anyway because you want to do it. So I didn't cut like put myself by the yoke him up and just tell him like sit him down somewhere so he'll understand that shit. But I gotta talk to him and make him understand like no, this is the wrong way. This is what happens when X, Y, and Z happens because it is like definitely a lot of patience. Like I I don't wanna take my parents' teachers in the way I raised my child. Even though some stuff was great stuff. I'm not gonna sit up here and say they parents it was the wrong way because they was just doing what they knew best how to do. So I'm just taking that and trying to build off of it. And I wouldn't say it's gentle parenting, but I feel as though I shouldn't have to get stern unless it's needed. Just to get stern because he's not listening to you and all that's pointless to me. So that's why I say patience.
Got you. Um, what I learned from my childhood that I try to bring to be your own individual. My
Hmm.
dad was big on that, being your own man. So since I don't have no young men, I tell my girls to be you. I'm saying whatever that is. If you want to be the brainiac, you want to be the nerd, be proud to be the nerd. I said there's nothing wrong with being educated. There's nothing wrong with knowing. Um, Just because I play sports don't mean that you got to play sports. If that ain't
Right.
something you really want to do, I'm saying don't do it. I'm saying you do what you want to do because that's genuinely what you see and what you feel. I'm big on that with all my girls. If you want
Mm,
to be prissy and athletic, if you whatever you want to be, I'm gonna support. Be it gay, be it straight, whatever. But do this because this is what you want to do. I'm
mm,
not gonna force you to do anything. I'm not gonna force anything on you that you're not comfortable with. But if you are comfortable with it and you are going to explore, we're gonna see it all the way through. Good, bad, and ugly. Um, also, like you said, patience. For sure, pay patience. Because I'm like you, Reese. I've had to from older children, from my older children to my younger one. I've had to catch myself of like, yo, you can't be like that. You can't be like that.
right.
Explain why we doing what we doing. Because I do have girls. I, I'm not, I'm not as physical. Um, physical discipline, physical discipline
Mhm.
isn't a big thing in my home, but I'm never against it. Cause you
Right.
will get that ass popped when need be. Um, but with them, it because again I am raising young women and I do have a great partner and a great wife that's definitely instilling those feminine qualities in them. Like I said, I do a lot more talking. I do a lot more explaining of why we shouldn't do what we do. Um, I do have a look every now and again where they know, okay, all right, that's a little too much.
Mhm.
Um, I but my biggest thing that I harp on with anything with any of my children is be you. I'm proud of whatever you want to do as long as that's what you truthfully want to get at. And you got me in your corner till the wheels fall off with that. So
Absolutely.
that's what I took from my childhood and tried to instill into my children.
Um, Something I took from my childhood is just be a stand up man. Uh, my dad, of course, I mean, if y'all know my dad, which, two of y'all don't, but one do for sure. Well, then again, y'all do know him because y'all know me.
I
But,
was about to say that.
um, nah, just being my dad always told me to be a stand up man. And I take that now into my nieces and my nephews and my guys as well. And like Tino said, just be yourself and be genuine to yourself because at the end of the day, you can lie to everybody else, but you still got to look yourself in the mirror. And the one thing you can't do is lie to yourself in the mirror. I don't care what you say. You know if you're lying or not. So at the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day, just be yourself at all times. And that's something my dad taught to me, instilled in me. And of course, I'm comfortable in my skin. So I tell all the kids now, be comfortable in yourself because you gotta live this. So if you're not willing to be the most gangsterous dude on the street, if you ain't gonna do it, if you ain't gonna, my dad said, if you gonna do it, don't do it half-ass. If you really gonna be
Mhm.
that, be that. Don't half-ass it because consequences to everything. And if you ain't ready for them, don't do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Uh, Anybody else got anything
Matthew.
else to say? Quiet over there,
All
good
right,
brother.
great. It's a good talk.
Yeah,
We
it
all
was a
we
good
all pretty
convo.
much got the same ideologies and traits in us in our parenthood, in our upbringing, and our parenthood and our parenting.
You wanna know what? At the end of the day, that's what make all of us get along on some way.
For
Outside of the
sure.
sports and shit, of course, because what I mean, we all who we are when we come to our sports. We love our sports, but if you take that away, I think we still have a common bond because the way we always grew up, well, we all grew up and we had stable, stern, good people in our lives. And I know Matt, when it comes to his father, but he still had other role models that was great male figures in his life. My
Sure.
dad
Oh yeah.
being one,
Yep.
a grandfather being another one,
Hmm.
uh, and of course he got uncles on his mom's side as well. So the black man is still one of the most powerful people.
Hey,
Don't let
you want to hear something though?
don't let
My
the hold
mom.
on. Don't let the people don't let this media or people tell you anything different. Go ahead. What you about to say?
So on mom's side, it was the white man, the blackest white man you ever meet, though. You know what I
All
mean?
right.
And that again, God bless his soul, my Uncle Ron. Again,
Some
that
of them get a
man,
pass.
yeah, no, literally, like again, that man was shunned by his own family.
Nah, he was a
Nah,
real one though.
yo,
He was
he's
a
a
real one.
real
Real for real.
one. He's a real
No,
one.
that's what I'm
Like,
saying. Like you just some of
yeah,
them you just can't even question it. Like, all right,
like
I ain't even giving you the pass or give you
no,
a black card. You already
my
got it. Like
my Uncle Ron
you
was
know more shit than
was
us.
Uncle Ron was around when my mom's baby brother was a kid. Like again, my oldest cousin on my mom's side is 10 years younger than my uncle. I mean 10 years, yeah, 10 years younger. So therefore, again, they grew up together. That's what tells you how long he been around. You know what I'm saying? But it's like shout out to him for again. He never threw the towel in. As much as you may think he should have, he never did. You know what I'm
But
saying?
that that just go why like that's your mentality though. Like some if a for a guy, a man, unless it's some a dire situation where harm was being about to be done, or y'all was going to put hands and be violent to each other, for a man to leave, forget the female, for the man to leave a child, that's the biggest slap in the face that you
Yo,
could ever give to your child.
yeah,
No
for
matter
real.
if you come back 5 years down the line, look, me and your mom wasn't getting along, or any
Yeah,
of that. That's the biggest slap in the face because they're gonna hold that resentment. You might not have a child that could get past this shit, or that could just move on and have a relationship with you when you think you better understand them later down in life, where they got more of a more experience under their belt.
look,
You might not ever talk to your child ever again, and like I said, that's just weak minded to me because for you to be able to live with, I'm not live with it, but for you to be able to go on a daily basis and not try to make no
effort to talk to your kid,
no effort to see, to
nasty.
pull up, the text, to write a letter, like none of that.
Yeah,
That
nah, I can't.
you,
I can't go a couple days without at least talking to my nephew.
yeah, you
My
just
young
weak
boy,
as fuck.
he got no, and that goes for dad and mom. Like again, if you don't reach out
Like
to your kid, but you got the nerve to call yourself a parent, but you don't
you
reach
just a
out to your
donor.
kid, talk to your kid,
You,
and we could talk about eggs, we can talk about sperm. Like again,
yeah,
you
that's
donating
it.
something, and you calling yourself that figure, that idol that you're supposed to be, that notorious being, that role that you're supposed to take on. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You are now POTUS. You POTUS to every child that you have.
Yeah,
You are El Presidente. You are head honcho,
for sure.
commander in chief. You call the shot. Whether it's this shot or that shot, you the parent.
Yeah.
You got to make sure again. Like I said, presence is a big thing. Like again, you can be present. Like so. All right, and again, my dad felt as though being present through the phone was acceptable. We talk about raising a boy and a girl. You know what I'm saying? That's not acceptable. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, all right, it could be acceptable only if you have the goal or the next couple of days you bound to go see that child. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be there and physically see your child to be in your child's life. You ain't in your child's life just through a phone. And mind you, he was not in prison. He wasn't in
Right.
prison. And because
Right.
I don't want that to be confused, so like because those are incarcerated, that you might not have a choice but to do that way. But to physically be there, hold your child, see your child, and like feel that euphoric feel that they give you. You know what I'm saying? That's everything that a parent should want. That's being present. You know what I'm saying? That's being interacting with them, doing everything you need to do with them. I'm there for dances. I'm there for karate class. I'm there for your first when you play a video game, your first purchase of a car, your first purchase of a toy with your own money. Like I'm there for that. If you ain't there for that, you not a parent, and that's a shame on you. Like you know what I'm saying? Like that's nasty work to even call yourself a parent. For those that do it by choice, because they have a choice coming to this world. They have a shot, but you making it seem as if like they have an option to choose you or not. They don't. They got to choose you every day. You You chose to keep them. They ain't choose to
That,
keep you. They have to keep
that,
you.
yeah. Like I used to hold some resentment to my parents because I growing up like me they my other siblings probably about the most is probably about at max 4 or 5 years apart. But it's me, it's 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, all this type of shit, right? So uh I held I held some type of resentment because me growing up, my siblings was all out the house, they living their own lives, all that shit. So growing up, it was like I was the only child because I'm the
Gotcha.
only one under my parents' roof.
Gotcha.
So they didn't they didn't they didn't got it right and wrong with some of the kids, some of my siblings. But with me, they just felt like they wanted to get everything right. So they just kind of sheltered me growing up. I didn't
Gotcha.
really start learning shit until I really got out here working for myself and doing shit on my own because they took care of everything for me. Like, of course, my dad taught me life lessons, but it wasn't the life lessons that'll prepare you out here for the real world. It's just life lessons that he was taught growing up that applied to him, like in his era. So it's not bullshit, but it just didn't apply to me. I'm not living that life. So like you feel me? So when I got 18 and then I blame the public schools too. I ain't gonna just blame my parents. But I by the time I got 18, graduated high school and all that, I ain't know what credit was for real, and now we about to go into something else and apply for student loans and be in more debt and all this bullshit. And but my parents ain't teach me about that. So you just hear credit, or you just think it's free, not free money, but you just get money right then and
Access to
there and
money.
just
Yeah.
use what you want to use, not knowing how to utilize it. So it's just like little shit like that. Like y'all taught me life lessons, but not for the real world. So
Gotcha.
that's why, but I had to understand that fully when I think I was probably about 23, 24. I realized all that shit. I was like, I can't hold them against that because they only did what they knew and they did the
Right.
best they could. So
Yeah.
it was up to me and it was up to my schooling, to the Philadelphia public school to teach us that knowledge that we
Perfect.
didn't get at home.
Perfect.
So I just had like it's just shit, certain shit like that you see down the line where you just it just open your eyes and this could go back to our first topic that we were talking about on the other pod, but certain shit just
No, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
like yeah, we
I
ain't
know
gotta
what you mean.
drag this out though. Everybody know. You
Right.
know, I don't know if anybody else want to speak.
Let me let me
Man,
just say this now. My fault. My fault. Tino. Y'all ain't see it so as much animation last pod just because the simple fact again when it comes to this parenting shit I'm dead ass serious about it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I'm passionate as shit about when it comes to raising my child. You know what I'm saying? That is one of the things. It's like if you know me, you know me. Like again,
Mm-hmm.
it's like you know where things I'm taking more serious than anything. Like you know what I mean. So I just want to say like yeah, that's all.
Right.
That's
Look, we
all.
understand, bro. Like I look like me and my wife been together. Well, yeah, we've been together since 2009, married since 2023. So we've been together. It's about to be 17 years in total. Everybody was trying to pressure us because that was the norm. Oh, y'all should have a child. Y'all need to have a baby. Y'all need to do this. Da, 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 da. But why y'all not trying to push on us marriage? Like y'all just talking about immediately talking about a baby. Like so, we just laughed at that shit because we see how miserable. Not saying miserable, but we
I
see
get what you're
how
saying.
all the trials and tribulations that y'all had to go through being young parents and struggling to make ends meet and all this shit. So we wanted to do it on our own time. Like, granted, God got the final say regardless. Like, I mean, we knew what we was doing. We knew the risk that came with it. So if that was his will, then we would have just stood on it. But we took every precaution that we could have until we both were ready. Like, it wasn't gonna be on nobody else, on nobody else dime. It wasn't gonna be, oh, well, it's just our situation now, and then we gotta deal with it. None of that. Like I said, like I don't fully think that you could be ready, but we wanted to be as ready as we could be. So that's why, Dave, I just want to say to you, why everybody joking around and talking to you and me and telling you that, do it on your own time, bro. Y'all got a lot of little cousins, nieces, and nephews and all this bullshit.
Oh, I
So
know, bro.
y'all
Ain't
got
nobody rush
time.
us. Yeah,
But it ain't
like you
like
said, it's God
I
time. It ain't
yeah.
even our time.
But it is gonna get to that point where you gonna want your own, and then be like, damn, like I want to raise my own.
Yeah, for sure. Nah, I mean, like you said though, I don't take. I mean, I know the family members that I really listen to. Like
Right.
I know that y'all joking and playing and having fun with it. So like I don't really that don't phase us no way. But like you said, it's getting to that point where both having baby fever. So these three will be here. You know what I mean? When he pop up.
Be that
Right.
parent. I'm gonna be that person. What you waiting on then? Go ahead and do it. Look,
Hey,
you sound
Listen,
like the
bro,
rest
like you
of them.
said, it it, it,
Yeah.
it, it ain't always on me neither
No, you gotta let shit line up.
though.
Everything
Yeah.
gotta line up for it. Everything gotta line up for it.
nah,
But
for
Reese,
sure.
to your point though, like everybody saying have a baby, get married and shit like this. So, me and my wife, we did it the way we did it. We bought a house, we got married, and then, sooner or later we're gonna have a kid. So like yes, we was blessed to do it the way they say you're supposed to do it, I guess, whatever. Even though we was
Right.
shacking up before we was married, so really
It
we ain't do
always
it the
worked
right
though.
way neither. So you know what I mean? So
Right.
but I mean, like you said, like nobody wants to be a financial burden on nobody when they have a kid. So and I think that's one of our things. Don't nobody want to be a financial burden looking for help all the time, because there's some people that look for help all the time.
All the time.
My phone go off a lot, and I won't call out that person, but my phone go off a lot, and I'll be like, God
Pe-
damn, that's not
People
even my
get felt all
kid.
the time. Get
But
felt all the
at the end of
time.
the day, um, like you said, it happened when it happens, and I know that kid gonna be loved by everybody on this screen right here, and everybody else who, what I mean, me and my wife love on their kids as well. So yeah, that shit gonna be dope.
For sure.
Word.
Yeah. Um,
But
only thing I would say is this here. Having a kid don't make you a dad. Um,
facts on a
we got
million percent.
we got to understand that, and you not having a kid of your own doesn't mean you can't be a dad. Um, being a dad is about being a positive influence on a child's life, leading that child in the right direction. I'm saying giving that child that unconditional love that it needs in this cold world that we live in. Um, being an uncle is like being a second dad. You're just not
Mm-hmm.
the biological father. Um, being a god dad is still being a dad.
Mm-hmm.
Being like I said, uncle, cousin, the big cousin. Lead if you can lead that child on the right path, the right direction, give great advice to that kid to lead that kid in a positive manner, that is being a dad. I'm saying so many people think that being a dad is just out here making one of your own. Like that makes you a father because I'm saying once the sperm hits the egg and creates an embryo and in the 9 month process, yeah, you become a father. But being a dad is putting in that work and that time, giving that presence, that energy. Um, so I salute any man that's being a positive role model, giving positive advice to children that they impact on a day-to-day basis. Um, because it ain't just about finances. Like I said earlier in the pod, like a lot of times we think we can buy kids love for the things that we miss out on.
Stop buying it.
And a lot, yeah, and a lot of times, bro, kids just want you to be there. Um, ultimately, now say they don't understand the sacrifices that we make as parents who do miss time. Um, certain things like work comes up. I'm saying kids don't understand that right off the bat because again, that's not what they know. Not until it's their turn and they have their own kids and then they can't show up to this or they can't show up to that because of their job. Then they understand like, hey, okay, this is what my mom was talking about. This is what my dad was talking about when it comes to missing things. Because at the end of the day, like I say, as a dad, your job is to provide. Your job is to give structure, to make to set the path for them to walk on, and eventually make their own path and support them. Um, also, I say to anybody, um, even somebody like in your situation, Dave, yeah, for sure, without question, take your time. There is no right time to have a kid. Um, I don't care how much finances you put away because every kid needs something different. Um, there are certain things in life. I'm saying you can be as mature as you want to be, financially sound, set, all of that. It still will not prepare you for having that little. I'm telling you, I've been I've been young parent, kid raising a kid. I've been old parent, uh, having that experience already under my belt. And these my younger two kids have taught me different aspects of my life that my older kids didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've had I've had to develop new things, new traits. With my oldest daughter, how I love her and how I loved on her is not how I love on my younger two kids now. Um, also, I'm a different man than I was when I had my oldest daughter. No child gets the same version of you. Um,
Mm-hmm.
being in the home or not in the home, every kid gets a different version of you because you're forever growing, you're forever learning, and they're forever changing, they're forever learning. Different kids bring out different sides of you. Uh, with my oldest, like I said, I passed down to her the love that I was taught as a kid because again, as I said, I was a kid having a kid, so a lot of what she was taught was understanding love. I'm saying it wasn't a lot of I love yous and all of that. It was my nigga. You know if you call my phone or if you know you need something, I'm here. Now
Mm-hmm.
with my younger ones, I'm doing mother I love yous. The more the good nights, like let me tuck you in, let me see you go to bed, things like that. I said I didn't do that with my first one, but I said I developed, I changed, so
Mm-hmm.
they got a different version of me, and you have to be okay with that. um because like I said, every kid is going to, if you, especially if you have multiple, they're going to get a different version of you, and they're good, and kids can pass that information on. Because I think about it with my mom. Like my mom had my brothers and sisters. My brother's 14 years older than me. My older sister's 12 years older than me. So I got a different version of our mom, and they would tell me that like, man, mom was hard on us, but you had it easy. And I'll be like, bro, if y'all call this easy, cause I hate to see what y'all got.
Bro.
And then you think about it, what do we always say? Like when we make them a grandparent, like, cause the things that you let them get away with, you wouldn't dare let me get away with.
Mm-hmm.
What you mean? What you mean? What you mean? We can sit on that couch?
Hold on.
Yeah.
Go ahead, man.
Hold on. Y'all speaking of this as not the oldest child. Jealous. Y'all don't know how it is with the parent, the firstborn. Like, she
That's right. You
sucks.
is the oldest. You the only one up here that's the oldest. The rest of us is the youngest. Well, yeah, in my situation, the youngest.
Listen,
Oh, Matt.
I know a little bit. A
Dave.
little bit.
Leave me alone, Dave.
Bro, cut that out. Cut that dumb shit
No,
out.
no, no, no. Leave me alone. It sucks.
Oh, I
It
thought you were about to say
sucks.
something else.
No, it sucks. Yes, but no. Tino's definitely right. You definitely do get a different version of the parent. Again, how was it? My oldest godson, my oldest nephew. I wasn't saying my second one. I wasn't saying my second one. And I damn sure can't be that with my youngest one, because again, that nigga there. But either way, say he's younger than my son, but either way, it's just simple fact. It's like he's getting dad version of me, new. You know what I'm saying? But nah, you definitely don't get the same parent. Definitely don't get the
Ah,
same parent.
I remember seeing a series on that, and like they dude was explaining it, like we think that we love our kids the same.
No,
And that's what it's talking about, like loving your kids the same, because everybody loves. I love all my kids the same. No, you don't.
Right. You
right?
And
don't.
and
No, you
and
don't.
and, and it's not even that you love one more than the other. It's you've learned how to love each kid in their own individual way.
Mm-hmm.
What one kid responds to, your other kid may not respond to. And I've had to learn that. I've had to learn that myself the hard way. I'm saying how I talk to my oldest girl Jade. I can't talk to Noxner like that. How things I say to Noxner I can't say to Janae. Things I say to Janae I can't say to Lily. So like
Mm-hmm.
everybody has to get a different version of me. Economically, I'm saying I wasn't struggling when I had Jade. I'm saying I always had a job, but I wasn't stable. By the time I got stable, she was more or less in school.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then the money came. Now with my younger two, I'm even more financially stable, more financially mature.
Right.
Again, just learning different things. The cost of things are different now. Where I would take $100 and go shop for Jay when she was 5 and 6, man. I come out with 30 bags. I go to Walmart now, J.C. Penney or wherever, spend $100, bro. I'm coming out. I might just come out with one bag.
Shit, one bag. You might
Shit.
go one item.
One
Yeah.
item.
So it's different. It's different things like that. Like I think about even from like dressing my kids. I was I could not stand to buy like a Walmart shoe. Like I hated it. Like with Jade, I hated it with a passion. She had to have a Jordan. She had to have a Nike. She had to have an Adidas. Something like it gotta have a name on it. And I would watch her not wear it, and bro, I be tight. I'm like, yo, like what the hell, like nigga, I done spent $150 on these shoes. What you mean? Like after one or two wears, they hurt your feet. Then I watched my brother go buy something less name brand, and bro, she wear that motherfucker till the soul come off. And bro, and now I'm even more mad because I'm like, yo, what the hell did he buy that I ain't bought?
I'm gonna do.
And I had to realize like I was buying her shit that I wanted. I was never buying her
Repurpose that
something
shoe.
that she wanted.
I'm gonna repurpose that shoe.
You say you gonna repurpose
That's that shoe going to the next kid.
it?
Hey,
That
yeah.
that shoe going to
Bruh,
the next kid. They going right back
but
in the
but
box too. Yeah, they going back to the next kid.
but now,
Mm-hmm.
bro, I go to Walmart. I'll find a shoe because I know my daughter doesn't know the concept of taking care of a shoe.
That's
So
not
I'm
right.
cool. So I'm cool with buying the $10-15 shoe from Walmart and her
It
going
lasts
through it
longer.
in a day or two. Because before, bro, when I'm spending 150, 130 on Jordan, and it's scuffed up after two wear, I'm cussing. What you mean you was at school? Who stepped on your shoe? Why was you even close to anybody for them to step on your shoe?
Give
Like
me the
Yep.
damn
what the
shoes. I can clean the shit.
yeah, like what the fuck? Look, hey, look, get your toothbrush, get the old bars, like get a couple of old bars of soap in there.
School shoes only, and
Yeah.
not for your leisure.
So it's different things like that. So like I'm saying, just knowing those things, bro, is helpful. Knowing that you are as much as your child is growing, you should be growing. You should
Mm-hmm.
be evolving because again, your your child will bring different things out of you. Like that. That's the to tie it all in. What reset the word patience. Having that patience to understand that that child is developing, and as fast as they're developing, we got to be just as fast, if not faster. Because
Mm-hmm.
like you said, Matt, they're gonna have those questions. Well, what's this? Why do I feel that way about that? why when I see this or I see that, like it makes me feel this way. Is it okay for me to say this out loud? Will my dad, because I seen on TV when their kid said this, their parent beat them. They yelled at them. Will my dad or my mom do the same to me? It's just things like that we have to be prepared for. We can't be stuck in old ways, thinking old ideologies. Like we said, like certain ideologies don't apply to us anymore. Like you said, some of the things that my parents taught me, yes, I have used and instilled in my children. Some of the things they've taught me, I let it die with me. and
Right.
and I and I hope that my kids, when it's their time to have kids, they do the same. The things that they liked about my parenting, I hope that you instill it in your kids, and then you develop your own parenting style. What works for you?
Yeah.
But listen, y'all, we can get up off this joint. I know this joint probably this is as long as the first one out here. God damn, boy. But nah, it was a good topic though. I'm happy we had it though. With y'all being fathers, I definitely look up to y'all in the way y'all parent y'all kids, and I'll be using some of that shit for mine later on down the line for
Appreciate
sure.
that, bro.
Yeah,
Yes,
nah, I
sir.
mean, nah, for real. All three of y'all active fathers, for real. That's why I wanted y'all up here. I wanted another person up here too as an active father. Shout out to Brandon, he's an active father too. So I mean, everybody active fathers in our group chat, for real. I don't think I could be around people that's not active fathers, because I mean, I always
Yeah.
see my dad. I don't think I could be friends with somebody honestly that's not an active parent,
No, sir.
and that's just me. And that's me being like, I'm being honest though, like, cause I seen my dad struggle. I know how it is to be a one. I know how it is to see somebody be a one parent and take two bad kids and still thrive. So I mean, I don't think I could be friends with somebody that's not that. And even with my mom, I know we talked about the whole situation. My mom went to jail and she still never missed nothing. So that tells you right there.
Man, jail
If
don't
you want to
stop
be there,
shit.
you can be there.
Yes,
If
sir.
you want to be there, you can be there.
Yeah, I know motherfuckers in jail that be paying bills in that
My
motherfucker
If
point
you
like
is
not
they
a,
got a
this,
job.
bro.
if you not a, if you're not an active parent, I can't be around
It's
you.
it's on you. It's on you
No,
at the
that's
end
a
of the day.
fact. That's a
I
fact.
can't
But
be
yeah,
around you.
nah, but nah, this conversation was definitely good. I hope honestly, like we say in the beginning of the shows, we hope somebody takes something out of this for real.
Please.
Men and women, be a parent, because we didn't actually be here, and them kids didn't actually be here neither.
We
Yep.
Shit.
chose to keep it.
Yeah. So with that
Yeah,
being
we
said,
we we not
go ahead.
misogynistic.
Nah, no,
Nope.
they don't hold back on us. Don't hold back on them. They don't hold back on us. But listen. With that being said, I'm your boy Dave, CEO Coles.
It's Mr. Have a great day on purpose, man. You be safe, so I don't have to be dangerous.
It's your boy Reese.
It's the podcast Savage. Again, I told you, I'm gonna be fucking passionate about this one. I'll be chilling, but I'll be fucking
Oh,
passionate about this one. But at the end of the day, we happy about you another one. That's all.
Yes, sir.
And we will catch y'all on the next Legacy Over Ego podcast. We out.
Yep.
Hold on.
This was a Rock Boys Network production.